that is haunted. Right from the start, dear, built on an acre of sand.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the podcast, Two Sides and the Truth. This is Zada, and
I'm Kelly.
And we're here for another episode. This one, we're going to have a special guest, and we're going to kind of circle back to picking up the pieces and starting over a previous podcast we had and talking about life after relationships. So we've got Brandy here, who, bless her heart, is going to have to give us...
Brandy!
She's going to tell us probably more than she wants to.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so Brandy, why don't you tell them who you are, and we're going to go from there.
Okay, my name is Brandy, and I have been a friend of Zada's for a very long time, and Miss Kelly as well. I am a hospice nurse and recently separated from a 22-year marriage.
Whoa.
Very long time, and it's just been one of those difficult, really strange, surreal things that has happened in my life. So,
Yeah. Not something you thought was going to happen.
No.
Curveball.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was. Well, I can say that, but that's probably not true. It's been a very difficult marriage. It really has. Like, it's been, I worked and tried, and I'm tired. I'm just tired of trying. I don't think that you should have to try so hard.
Yes.
Amen.
I really don't.
I agree with you.
So you're happy with
Trying
your
is
decision?
important, but there
I
gets
am
a
happy.
point.
I am happy with my decision, but I will say I do question it. You know, here I am, going to be 50, soon. And for me, I feel like, well, gosh, I've spent all this time, built this family, and now nothing. Like, I literally am alone. And it's the first time in my life that I have been completely alone. No kids, no nothing. So it's
that's
different.
I will say that I went through that when I got divorced, and my kids would go to their dad's house every other weekend.
Yeah.
Which was short lived because Zoe stopped going. But so I had about a year maybe that every other weekend I didn't have a kid.
Right.
And I did not know what to do with myself, and I attached myself to Mary.
Yeah.
And every other weekend, I would drive to Dallas from Houston and spend the weekend with Mary, and she would make sure that I didn't get sad and lonely.
Yeah.
But then it got to where I love being alone.
Right.
Yeah. And since Rick moved in, it's been a struggle for me not to get alone time sometimes.
Right.
So, like, he went hunting, and I was so happy that I got a little, and I love him to death. There's no problem with him being there.
Right.
It was just like, oh, finally I'll be alone in the home for a minute.
Yeah.
I like my alone time. I chill.
I've always enjoyed alone time, but this is different. This is a different level of alone.
Different than alone.
This is alone 24/7, and I find myself talking to myself and even answering myself. I'm crazy. I have lost my mind.
That's okay. The important thing is that you lost it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Do you have any pets?
I don't like any kind of, I hate to say it, I'm one of those weird people.
No, you and
You're in
Kelly.
good company right
Oh,
now.
yeah. I'm not, please,
I have
no
a cactus.
cats, no
That's it.
dogs, no nothing.
Do you have any plants?
No, I would kill it. I'm awful at making things
She
grow.
needs a cactus.
No.
You need a cactus.
I could get
They're
cactus.
therapeutic
I probably should get one.
because they're hard to kill.
Oh, well, then I don't just, I can do it.
I didn't think mine was going to make it.
Next girls trip, we should just dig her
We're
up
gonna
one.
get-
That's
we're
where
gonna-
hers came from.
We're getting you a cactus.
Awesome. Please do. I
We
need
will.
one.
We will.
Yeah,
Put
it
that
worked.
on the
Give me
the
something to
books.
talk to.
So what is it you're doing to occupy yourself? Like, what have you found to be? And I mean, have you tried to find some new hobby? Or
Well, yes. I've started going to concerts
okay,
alone. And that's weird too. But
I don't like to use the word weird. It's just different.
it's very different.
but
especially
with
when
your
you've never done it.
personality, I know you start talking to people immediately and make friends.
I do. But the last concert I went to was just very different.
What
Kelly.
was it? What concert?
Florence and the Machine.
Yes,
And I mean,
you didn't go alone though. You went with.
well, I met a friend. I did meet a friend up there, and thank goodness. But it was just very different. That one was the last one that I went to. But I just, I do love all kinds of music. But I really was kind of taken aback by the crowd. I really was watching more so the crowd than I really was her, because it was very
Because it's an
interesting.
eccentric crowd.
Extremely eccentric. Very entertaining.
Yes, I
I'm
bet.
talking about, the long flowy dresses and the little floral crowns and
Yes.
barefooted and
Yeah.
they're scooping around.
And you're like, what do you
skipping.
dress like in normal? Like, what are these? They're normal.
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to ask, but I thought, would that be rude if I just went up to, a random stranger and be like, why? Is this normal for you? Because this is...
Yeah, I think that you should just let people be. That's not, just let it be.
Right. But I will say, it's kind of that was out of my comfort zone,
Right.
But I'm down for that.
Yeah, that's how you grow.
I went to see Depeche Mode. I've seen Depeche Mode many times.
Yeah.
And I saw Depeche Mode for the first time in 1991. And then I've seen them maybe 5 times since. So the last time I saw them was before I got divorced. It was like the year I got divorced, so maybe 15 years ago. And my ex-husband and I went, and at that point we're in our 30s.
Yeah.
I'm like maybe 30, and I've been listening to them since I was like 12. And so we get there and we're looking at the crowd, and there's a lot of people dressed like they always have at Depeche Mode shows.
At our age?
Yes.
Okay.
And I mean, they're older than us. If you think about it, we were the younger even group of the Depeche Mode scale. And so, I'm talking like wings and like leather skirts, like Martin Gore wears, and like fishnet ties, and to each their own. There's no judgment.
I freaking love it.
Yeah.
It was just the most amazing people watching you've ever seen in your
yeah.
life. But the best part was, and my ex-husband and I both spent the whole time watching the security guards people watch, because we weren't shocked by the people because we knew what was coming.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it more
because
we were older and we found it more entertaining.
Right.
We appreciated the people. We were like, hell yeah, man. What are they? And we were like, what do you think he does in a day? He's like a postman? Like what? But on top of that, we're like, the security guards were just mouths dropped. Like, what the hell is going on? And if you've ever seen a Depeche Mode show,
I haven't.
And I highly recommend. They put on an amazing show.
Sure, yeah.
But they had, what's his name? Anton Corbijn, who used to do all these like videos and stuff in the early 90s that were famous. He produced a bunch of their music and their stage shows. And so it's just very dramatic, and there's just crazy things going on, and it's just a really good show. That's why I've been back so many times. I'm scared of what's going on now at this age, because the last time I saw Morrissey, he tore his shirt off, and it was...
Oh, my gosh.
It was bless his heart.
Well, he's living his best life.
I know.
I felt bad. I was like, okay, he's got some self-esteem now, and he used to be, not so good for you.
That's
like,
right.
Right. Empowerment. That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. The same thing happened with the security guards there too, with watching her. Just her crowd, and I was laughing with them. Well, not at the people, but just laughing
together.
Yeah,
because
together.
it is pretty.
It's the best
entertaining.
people watching ever.
It's amazing, and I do love. That's one thing I do enjoy. People watching.
So,
Absolutely.
Me too. I'm a watcher.
So I asked you before we started if you've done any kind of dating or dating sites, and so what's up with that?
I have not. I don't know what it is. I find that it's very difficult to find anyone that's my age and with, the same interests. And where do you go? I mean, what do you do? Obviously, I'm not going to go find someone at a bar.
H-E-B, the meat section.
Well, I don't cook. You know this.
I know. You don't have to buy anything.
But hopefully they do. That's why they're there.
Oh, my stupid. Play stupid.
Like, are you going to throw that down on the grill tonight?
That's great.
You want to throw something else down?
Well, see, I don't have that kind of attitude right now, Kelly. You're a little bit of firecracker.
I'm sorry.
I'm a little bit, I'm tired, y'all. I'm sleepy.
So go to the Bath and Body Works.
I do that. There's no men in there. Okay.
Oh man,
they're not going to Bath and Body Works.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And if they are, no, I don't want to date those either.
Atwoods maybe, Home Depot.
Gosh.
Ooh, I love going to Home Depot or Lowe's because all the handymen go there, and I love me a handyman.
And then you
too,
just
but-
play stupid, and you're just like, oh my god, I don't know what to buy.
Oh, I'm not good at playing stupid. That's
That's
another
smart.
downfall.
I can't even play it.
Oh my god, I don't want to do that either.
Okay, I don't have that problem apparently.
I'm going to be single forever. I'm going to get a cat probably. Yeah, now I don't even like them.
Don't do it. Don't.
That's okay. They don't like you either.
Yeah, I mean, there you go.
That's true. Well, that's not true. They do love me. All animals, little children, and old men.
Well,
they love
I think
me.
I think that they can sense when you don't want to touch them, because I have the same with animals, because I love animals, but I'm not a petter. I'm not going to pet you. I will look at you and think that you're gorgeous and appreciate you, but I don't want you on me, and I don't want to touch you.
Please don't lick me.
And
Don't touch
they
me.
know it. They
Right.
know. They can
do.
sense it, and they're like, "Why don't you want to touch me?
Let me come on. Just touch me.
Let me rub against your leg."
I
No.
know. I know.
They do. My cats do it too. She's actually talking about my cats.
Yes, exactly.
And my children. And
Yes.
my children.
Well, I mean, children and animals.
Yep,
Yeah.
they just
Doesn't matter. They're like, well, that dog don't like nobody. I'm like, well, he likes me. He loves me.
story of my life.
that's how dating's going.
Pretty much. Yes. That's,
We're getting a cat.
I'm going to have a cat and a dog.
Oh my gosh.
And a cactus, apparently. A cactus.
And a cactus, yeah.
That's gonna be the only one that lives.
Yeah, you know that. And they're like, oh, y'all need to eat? Shit.
I can't just leave you for days at a time.
Okay, maybe you need to get a second job for fun, not for the money, at a bar.
Hey, I thought about that. I'm not going to lie to you. I did.
I would totally come see you.
You would?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to do that then.
Probably get you fired.
If I've got to, just saying, if that's how I got to get you to come over.
I mean, what if you work like 2 nights a week for like 4 hours, 5 hours, and that just help you socially meet people or know who to stay away from? Could go both ways.
Okay. And here's something else that's really kind of an amazing thing that I've just found out about myself. I am not so outgoing and people-y anymore.
Oh.
I used to be.
Yeah. But no,
now-
because we got to that age now that we're almost biting people.
Yeah, I'm kind of grumpy.
Yes, I'm there with you.
Yeah, and I remember thinking to myself, golly, why is that old man so grumpy? Well, I'm a grumpy old man now. I do not, people are around. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm out.
It's my bedtime.
Yeah, I'm ready to go to bed.
I just have to put out there that this is exactly what a weekend at the cabin sounds like. This is literally when we say that we just sit
All we're
around
missing
and
is
shoot the
the
shit.
river. That's it.
Gosh, I miss the river. Oh, I don't want to go back.
It was
I
such a
can't
dry
wait.
year, so I didn't really do much this year. But we'll be back next year. We'll be back.
Wow, I can't
No,
wait.
we need to go sometime soon.
We want to do a
Yeah,
fall
the
trip.
weather is so perfect
I
right
would
now.
love
Let's
it.
do it.
Absolutely.
And I bought a new sign to put down there, so
We've got to take it.
Yes.
I know. That's I
It
mean,
says river with
Yeah.
an arrow.
Arrow.
Oh my gosh, I love
You wouldn't
that.
believe how excited I was. I
I
was like,
mean,
oh my God,
yeah,
look what I
this-
found.
This is another thing. That's when you know you're old. Look, I got a sign, y'all. I'm so
excited
excited.
about my
I'm so
sign.
excited about this sign.
That is a sign that I am old.
That
is
reminds
true.
me of the lovely lady that we met at the antique shop the other day. I picked up this tin that had a really awesome print on it. And that's it. And so I was looking at it, and she came up. She's like, "Don't you just love tins?" She proceeded to tell me this story about this tin that she drove like hours to go and pick up, and how they just bring her so much joy.
had
And
feet
you
on
can
it.
just put anything in it. She described. Oh my! And I loved. I loved. I was so
Kelly
excited.
is
Yeah,
Like how
I love it.
excited.
What you're saying is on the bottom like this. This is where the feet were. She was like, yes. She was
She
like,
was
oh my
so
God, that's
excited.
awesome. Kelly is like her
Oh yeah.
soul partner.
That's why Kelly's so attractive, though. That's another thing. Not just because she's physically beautiful. It's because she literally will make you feel like you're the only other person in the room. There could be 500 people in the room, and she's going to make sure that her attention is on you. It's pretty outstanding.
Oh,
Not very many people have that.
That is very true.
thank you so much. You're so
Especially in
sweet.
a room full of women that we tend to bring together.
Yeah.
Because it is a lot of alphas.
Oh yeah.
And Kelly, that's one thing, bless her heart, she's had to come through alphas that are also 15 years older than her.
Yeah.
She's the
Hey,
youngest.
she
I can
hangs
run
tight,
with the
though.
alphas,
She
man. I
can.
can
She
run
hangs
with
in there.
Oh, I know.
Well, she was leaving, and she's like, "Enjoy your tin," and she was. So
She didn't buy the 10.
I couldn't tell her that I didn't get it.
No.
I hope she doesn't listen.
Bless it.
I'm gonna go back and get it. I could feel too bad.
Yeah. Now I need to own the 10.
Where's
I
it
don't
at?
even-
I need
I'll
it.
go
I mean,
get it.
It's right down the road.
Yeah, we went antiquing yesterday.
What is that shop called? Old Town Village.
Old Town Village. That's it.
I always find something there. Always.
Waxahachie, Texas.
love it.
I don't need anything else extra.
That's okay.
I got a
We
lot
don't
of stuff.
either.
You
but,
don't go there because you don't need anything extra. You go there anyways.
Oh,
I
well,
went
that's what
You
happens.
find something to bring you joy that you never even knew you needed.
Oh, like
Like yesterday, apparently,
cactus.
I needed a robe with a Southwest print.
you do.
That I did. I didn't
did.
know I did.
Oh, but you
and then I
did. Got
saw
one
it and
now.
I realized I needed it because if Snowmageddon happens again,
You never know.
She is prepared now.
I will be prepared because this is the warmest looking robe you've ever seen to be owned by someone in Texas.
Oh my gosh.
So we're gonna
Pretty
need a
legit.
Snowmageddon for me to wear it. I'm gonna have to put it back. But it was so cute. It's like Southwest print, and I
You gotta have it.
just pictured myself with coffee and like
Yeah, on the back porch.
on the back porch, snuggled up, my knees pulled up to my chest. I
Love it.
had a whole vision of me in this robe.
Watching Rick like just
hack
Cut-
away
hack
at some
wood.
wood. Yeah.
I would tell you, last night we were.
hacking on his wood. What are we talking
Oh
about?
my God.
Red flag.
Red flag.
No, just kidding.
Last night we were grilling, or he's been smoking meat all day.
Oh.
I know.
Interesting.
And so he got up at 3 this morning to start smoking his meat. And
I can't get the bad thoughts out of my
Yeah,
head
me
now.
either.
Y'all started it.
I'm sorry. Anyways, so last night we were hanging out in the garage and just shooting the shit and listening to music, and he was dancing for me. He does that, and
I need video.
he does a jig. It's a jig.
A jig.
Yeah. And so in between that, he is chopping wood for the fire all day. So he's like dancing and chopping wood.
Oh my gosh, I was kidding. He chops wood.
She's living the life.
In his Wranglers. And I told him, I was like, can you turn a little to the right? He was like, stop ogling me. I was like, I mean, just a little bit. And he was, stop ogling me.
I love it. Just catcalling him. Love
the
it.
whole time. I'm like, if you took your shirt off,
It'd be a lot better.
you could get a more even tan.
Yeah.
Did he do it?
It's like dark outside.
Oh, yeah.
No, he was like, you were stupid.
Hey, the moon was full, okay? I saw that, so.
Aren't you supposed to get naked on a full moon?
I
I
don't
did
know.
that
Are
too.
you?
I mean, that's what I do. I'm just hoping that's a thing.
I mean,
It is a thing.
Okay, good. Yeah, you're supposed to like get
Sounds like a
naked
thing
and
to
go
me.
outside and like absorb the energy of the
If
sun.
it wasn't a thing, it's a thing now.
Yes.
I mean, it works for crystals. I figured it just works for people too.
It does. Or turquoise.
think
We'll
so.
go with it. Turquoise. we all wear turquoise. We'll say it goes with that.
All right.
All right. So we're just gonna keep rambling like we're sitting at the table in the cabin. Like
I wanted you to share some of the advice that you've begun. You told me that you were getting some advice from people about
man. Oh, well,
dating or
so.
what
What is the
advice have
advice
you been
and who
getting?
gave it to you?
Okay, so I have had a lot of advice, some of it unsolicited, but they're like, hey, so what's going on?
Those
And
are
I'm
my
like,
favorite.
yeah, well, I was getting my eyelashes done yesterday, and the girl that does them, I think she's like 25, and she's very sweet, very, very sweet. And she's like, so I know that you're separated. She goes, have you like gotten out very often? Like she goes, do you date? And I was like, not really, and she's like, well, have you tried the dating apps? And I was like, no. I mean, I don't, like, I'm a person, I want to talk to you for a while. Like, I want to get to know you first. And that that's just how I am.
Dating apps, I think, are more hookup at this point.
I
I feel like they have always been that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about. I don't
never
want to hook
my
up.
thing.
I don't want to hook up. No. Not unless somebody has, somebody's number, like the guy that plays Thor. What's his name? Like, I'm down to hook up with that one.
yeah.
But
Momoa, Jason Momoa. Is that his?
That's
Well, I mean, he'll
No,
do. He'll do. Whatever.
Yeah, him.
But
He'll
yeah.
do whatever.
We're not picky.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not picky on that aspect of things, okay? But,
I'm not gonna kick him out of bed.
Morgan Wallen. All right.
Yeah, but when you're in Burleson, you're like, no, there's not any of those around, okay?
No.
So she's like, you just need to get on this, have you looked at Tinder? And I was like,
Oh
no.
my gosh, red flag.
Yeah.
Farmersonly.com.
Oh,
I
that's
don't-
just a farmer's Tinder.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't need a Tinder.
I feel like everyone
But
is
how
just
else are
the
you gonna meet
different
a
version
farmer?
of.
Well,
You go out to a field and see a tractor,
Well-
a tractor going, and you flag them down, act like
Right.
your car is, you're having car problems.
it's just like when you go to
Look
the
at her,
HEB,
brilliant.
right? You get the meat guy, and you
Exactly.
just go to the farm, and you just
Yes.
kind of like wait in their
You-
field, and either they'll shoot
Yes.
you or want to date you. I don't know. What
I
do you?
mean, it's a coin toss.
Be like, I was just here to get squash to make you something.
Oh well, okay, then that's not true, and he's gonna
I'm not
find
gonna-
out,
I'm
and he'll
not gonna
probably
lie.
yeah. That's
I'm not
you
gonna
can't.
lie to
So
him.
you
I'm not
can't.
gonna
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could. It's a lot of work, and I'd prefer just to lay there and drink wine.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
everybody has their niche.
I know it. It's awful. But that's what I do. You asked me what I do. So
we've
when
been talking a few episodes. We talked about love languages, and that was something we talked with Melindy about.
yes,
Love
yeah.
language.
Yes.
And Brandy, on that episode, this is the Brandy we talked about in that episode.
Oh, yeah.
Remember we discussed you? I
Yes,
forgot. So
yes.
This is the brand.
The Brandy.
So this is Melindy's Brandy.
Yes.
But we talked about love languages, and hers was feeding,
Cooking, right?
cooking, and that's
Yeah.
mine too.
It is. And I'm so glad that you guys love me because it is delicious, and that's
Yes.
probably the only time I
I
eat
love finding
anymore.
people whose love language is cooking. I want to make them love me.
Yes.
Well, so what is your love language?
I love to gift. I like gifting.
Oh, yes, you do.
I enjoy that, and it makes me happy to give people things.
That's my almost daughter-in-law. She's a gifter.
I love it. Like if I'm ever like if I've had jewelry on and my friend goes, oh my God, I love that, I just give it to you.
Yes.
I just because I think it makes me happy to know that you're happy.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
love that.
it's like the record
What
story
record?
with us about the Dolly Parton record story.
Oh
with
my
us,
gosh.
And how I got
That
it
is
back
so
threefold.
true. I know. I just love that. That was so sweet. And it really touched my heart. It really did.
Well,
like
someone did it to me, and it touched my heart. So that's what got me doing it.
Yes.
Which we've told the story before, and I'm going to let you tell it because I've told this story on the Third Wheel podcast before.
well, I love Dolly Parton. my entire life. Like I have loved Dolly Parton. Like from the very youngest, like I've had dreams, literally about Dolly Parton. I wrote Burt Reynolds a letter when I was 5 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, and I was like,
And was it
"Please."
about Dolly Parton?
Well, no, I was like, no. I just said, hey, could you please help me be famous? And my mom's like, oh, that's so cute. And I was like, did you mail it? No, she didn't mail it. But whatever, because see, right now I could be, but I wouldn't know y'all. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I mean, I just love her so much. So, with all of that being said, I saw this record. I was at Zada's, and it was for Christmas, right? It was
Yeah,
for
we were having a
party.
Christmas party.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, you've got records, because I love records. And I've got records as well. And I saw this one Dolly Parton record, and I was like, oh my God, it is just, she's just gorgeous. And
It's the one with the pink chiffon dress on, y'all.
I mean, she's just amazing. And then Zada gave it to me, and I had tears. I don't cry. You guys, I'm a hospice nurse.
You don't
to be
cry.
honest. I don't really cry. And I got a tear. Like, I was like, this is the most touching thing. It was just so touching for me, because it really was. Because I don't know, I just loved her, and I love you. So thank you.
And for those that didn't hear the story the first time, because I told it quite a while ago,
Yeah.
this story comes full circle. The reason that not the reason I did it, because I think I probably would anyways, but what got me going was maybe a month and a half before that, my sister-in-law Bonnie did that for me with something where I said I loved it, and she gave it to me, and it was actually her grandmother's, who I knew as well, her grandmother. Right. So it was extra special. And it was like, it's glasses, chains for my glasses.
Yeah.
And so she gave me that, and because I said I liked it, and then she told me that she believed that's what you should do. And then you did that, so I gave you the record. So then fast forward, that was a Christmas party, and then I had a friend, Jay, pass away not long after that, I think beginning of February. And so Jay, after he passed, had his best friend, Erica, like gather all his records, and he was a big record collector, and he had this amazing record collection. But Jay and I had alternative music in common. So Depeche Mode. And he was at every major concert, like Morrissey, like every alternative concert, he was there. And he used to like write music reviews and stuff for magazines.
That's so
and
cool.
like this was his life. And he had great stories. And so anyway, so I got invited as one of Jay's friends to go to his, like, it wasn't a funeral, but like a get together. What was it, a memorial?
Like a celebration of life or something.
Yeah.
And Kelly got to go with me because we were going to see
the plus one.
Miranda that night.
It was Miranda Lambert.
That night we were going to see Miranda Lambert. So we decided we would like run by this memorial thing and then re-random Miranda Lambert. And so she got to go with me, oddly enough, to Jay's memorial. And I get there and did not know this ahead of time, that she let us, what his choice was, to give his records to his best friends. Oh. The whole record collection. Take anything you want. Everything you want. And so that's what they did. They were like, here, you've been invited here. You're one of the special ones to pick from his record collection, anything you want. So in my head, I'm going to get some kind of memory of music that we shared together. So, and that would have been Morrissey or Smith's, because I introduced him to them. And so that's what I imagined I would find, a Morrissey or Smith's album. But the first album, I just go to a random box. There's tons and tons of record boxes. And I go to just a random one in the middle of them all and just pull out a record. And the very first record is that Dolly Parton record that you got.
Yeah. And I love that story.
Not
That's
2
so
months
nice.
later after that. And I thought, if that's not God paying it back, because now it means something really special to you because I gave it to you.
Yes.
And it means something really special to have the one I have because it was Jay's.
Right.
And so it makes it even extra special.
That's so nice.
So that's...
I like good stories.
Yeah, I didn't even know we were going to be telling that story today. It's
sweet.
definitely one of my favorites. And it goes full circle because Kelly was there too.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
She went... And tell me what a sidekick she is for me. That she has had to go to a funeral of someone she did not know with me.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
But you know what?
And her and I had just
loved
become
it.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like going out of town, going by herself. And I remember saying, do you need somebody to go with you?
Yeah.
And she was like, no, well, I think I'm good. And I was like, okay, Zada, but if it comes down to the time and you want somebody to be there with you, I'll be there. You don't have to talk to me. Or we can just listen to music, just to have somebody there. And she ended up calling or texting me, be like, will you really go? Can you really go? And I'm like, yeah, come get me. And
That's
she
so
did.
nice.
And it was a great road trip.
And it was
time.
in Houston. Like, we drove to Houston for from Dallas.
Wow.
And it was, for someone in my past who was really good to me at one point.
yeah.
And Ex-girlfriends were there, did not care for me.
Hey,
But it's okay. We had so much fun. We looked so good.
that's the best.
It was
so good.
I all I could do was hear him in my
Laughing,
head.
probably.
Laughing, but also scolding me for doing it. Like, I know he was scolding me, but laughing.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it on purpose.
Well,
But I did.
Right.
I didn't mean to piss him off. I just meant to look really good.
well, that's. I
You're
mean, you
just
always
being respectful,
You always
you know?
look really good. So
Well, I
come
looked
on.
really good that day.
She probably didn't have no business looking at
I mean,
good.
we were wearing the fishnets to the funeral. I looked really pretty.
You did.
I love
You-
that.
I thought you looked
And I had
spectacular.
Kelly as my arm candy,
Oh, yeah.
who
So
obviously
it
looked
was
like Kelly.
Even better.
It was a lot to deal with.
Double trouble.
Someone got up in the middle of it and left.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
That's really petty.
And everybody knew why. Everybody knew why.
Yeah.
And so that's what I got after the funeral from everybody was, you know why they left, right? And I was like,
Yep.
Because you were there.
yeah.
That is so.
It's
You were there looking like you were looking.
It was that. That's what it was. Yeah.
I want to share my fun story from that time. Do you remember we stopped at like Gold's Gym to change? Because at the time I had a Gold's Gym membership, and so we had been in the car this whole time driving down. And we were like, get down there and needed somewhere to actually change. So we go into
We
Gold's
both
Gym
had a
to change.
gold membership.
Yeah, and then we went to this Mexican restaurant. And we were eating some food before we went to the ceremony. Well, I needed to go to the restroom, so I got up and there was somebody in the restroom. So we're standing in a hallway, and there was like a mirror with a vanity dresser kind of thing, really pretty. And so I was just standing there, and I was admiring because I love mirrors and I love antiques. So I'm looking at the dresser, and I'm like, I opened the drawer of the dresser because I'm just killing time.
She's
and
Kelly. She's
there,
just Kelly.
I see that there is wrapped up in some napkins. There's a couple of these just like travel like little liquor bottles of like
That was like 99
tequila.
cent.
Are you serious?
And I was like, well, this is a strange place. So it comes to my mind, obviously somebody stashed these here. Like maybe an employee
Oh,
or
yeah.
something. This
Yeah.
is a stash spot.
Yeah, because they were hidden in the napkin.
And I was like, weak. So I just shoved it down my dress and then I had already paid at this point. I was just going to use the restroom before we leave. And so I'm coming back out. Dad, come on, let's go. And so she's like, no, we've done, out to the car, get to the funeral. And I'm like, looky what I got, pull it out of my bra. And she's like, what the heck?
that is hilarious.
I said, I figured this might come in handy at the funeral.
And it did. When, we started having people exit the building when I entered it, then that was a bad
Wow.
sign. And I introduced myself to her, and she didn't like that very much.
What?
Because I'd never met her, so.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Women
I cannot help it.
and men.
All
People.
of them, all people. No.
There goes our
No,
positivity.
I
No, that was all the problem.
well, look here. I'm separated. I'm, bleh.
That's okay.
And she has the right to be currently.
I'm happy, y'all. I'm happy. Just kidding.
This might obtain to you because we've talked about this before. Is whenever I got divorced, I didn't have any kind of artwork on my walls, and I've talked about this before. I think even on the other podcast. But my ex-husband, when I was married, we had no money. I mean, he was just really bad with money, and so we never had artwork on the walls unless my mom gave it to me. So, and my mom, as you know, based on seeing what you've seen in my life, was very artsy and decorative. And so every time that she would see me, she would have redone something in her house, and she would give me whatever art she wasn't using
That's the
anymore.
best.
And it was pity art, like
Still,
honestly.
I love that though.
And so I would get, that's all I had in my house. And it wasn't things I would pick. Now I use them, but they weren't my mom type stuff. They were beautiful, but they weren't stuff that was my mom's normal decor, I guess.
Right.
Anyway, so that was the other art. And it really bothered my mom that I never got to decorate my house nice. Like, it really bothered her because her home was beautiful. She always made a beautiful home. And it really was something she had against my ex-husband, that he couldn't provide that for me.
Right.
Because she was old school. So after we got divorced, I was like, I am never going to do this again. Like, I am going to make myself a priority.
Absolutely.
So when I got divorced, I gave all my furniture away unless it was a heirloom. I gave it to, I had a friend getting divorced at the same time that it had nothing and didn't have the financial means to replace it. So I gave her everything. And I was like, I'm just going to replace everything.
Yeah.
And so I did. I replaced everything. So everything in my home, I replaced myself personally, and it did not exist prior to that. So that's a sentimental thing.
Yeah.
and I don't have normal pieces,
Yeah.
But on top of that, my artwork, that was a big deal. My artwork is
Sure.
that's why you hear me talk about it on the podcast. So
Yeah.
much. So do you have something that's evolved from that you have a goal? It might be artwork. It might be a new car. It might be, what
Making your space your space.
Yeah. Just what have you set a goal for yourself to not have to go without, I guess?
I will say this. I have always given all of my check and just deposited it. And then I just, whatever I needed, I would really neglected myself a lot. And I will say, I just decided, you know what? From now on, I go get my eyelashes done because I just love to do it. It just makes my life easier. Yeah. And then I started buying clothes. Yeah. Whatever I want. I'm spending money on myself. Like for a long time, I didn't do that ever. Like I've always just given it away. And so
that's what I did too. Whenever I got divorced, same thing. Yeah. Once I got on my feet. Let me rephrase that. Once I got on my feet, I was like, I deserve this, and
absolutely.
And I do it now. I'm all about buying for myself.
So hard, yeah. So I'm like, why do I work so hard and I don't, have anything to show for it for myself? And so I've started doing that, buying clothes. And my home though has always been important to me. I think that your home should be where you want to be all the time. Right. It should be your safe space and your comfortable space. So I spend a lot of money on sheets, and in my bedroom, I love to just relax, and that's what I like because I work very hard. So when I get home, I want it to be comfortable.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that's good. I do think that's one thing that when you start doing your soul searching after a divorce that you have to consider is soul search what's good for you.
Right.
That you neglected.
Mm-hmm. Even getting my fingernails and toenails, like I would get the, oh my gosh, we can't afford that. I'm like, well, you're
so
going
sorry
to, you're spending $500 a week going out for lunch and drinks, and no wonder,
we can't afford my $50 pedicure.
Yeah. So now I spend my money on me and my kids. Obviously, I still, baby them, but
when I got divorced, it took a while to get child support, a few years.
Oh yeah, I don't ask for that ever. I've never asked for
and
that.
so obvious for those years it was more of a struggle than other times.
Yeah.
So I finally got my first download on a card of child support, and it had been like 2.5 years maybe, I don't know how long. And I was like, I went straight to the lady and got myself waxed down there.
There you go.
And paid for it with that damn card.
Perfect.
I love it.
So that it came out of his pocket.
Perfect.
Because I've been paying for these kids for 2.5 years with zero help.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like I'm using it for the wrong thing. I've been using, he owed me at that point. That was the very first thing I bought with child support.
There you go. There you
and
go.
I did it on purpose. It was planned, and that was what was going to happen.
You should have said that. You should have called him up. Hey,
I told
my gosh,
him.
I'm so happy that you just finally did that.
I told him.
My boyfriend loves it.
I was like, take it all off, I was... My kid's going to listen to this and be like, son of a bitch. My mother. Damn it. Okay. In like 30 years, they're going to have their own podcast. Be like, let me tell you about my mom.
Everybody's going to be like, well, we know
this
her.
Is what she did with her child support. And their dad, I told y'all.
Oh, yeah.
That's so ridiculous. Anyways, well, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
I'm so glad you're here.
I know. Too. And now we get to go and have some more fun.
I know.
I can't wait to hang out with you after this.
This is going to be fun. I'm just going to stay up all night long, go to work tomorrow. Hunt. No, I'm just not. I'm not.
I'm going to make a casserole when I leave here.
What?
Yes. The one that was in the magazine, the squash casserole.
Oh, maybe I should, when you're done, on the way out.
Which is actually Rick's recipe.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
So I had to get home because he is smoking stuff.
He cooks too?
Even better than me, honestly.
Oh,
and
my
some
God.
things. Yeah, it's disgusting.
I know, right?
Can I rent a room? Like, this apartment is pretty pricey. I'm not going to lie.
I don't know why I can't lose weight.
Oh, y'all, I didn't tell you real quick. I did meet a guy at the pool at our apartment.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, your apartment has a pool?
Yeah. It's got two.
How am I have you been sitting on this information this long?
Yeah.
You did not tell me. You didn't tell me either. Did you know I had
did
a pool?
know. She told me this. I'm
You're
sorry. I
gatekeeping
forgot.
this pool from me?
This pool is outstanding. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay, so tell me about this guy.
Well, I don't want to say that my husband's name, you know.
You don't have to.
But I will say this. When I'm laying at the pool, this guy walks by, nice looking guy, and he lives in the apartment too. So he starts talking to me. He's like, hey, and he introduces himself. And I said, well, I won't forget your name. And he goes, why? And I goes, because that's my husband's.
Oh, no.
This is why. I know. I know, but I'm not used to y'all.
I get it. I understand.
He just kind of smiled and kept talking. He didn't like
You
what
didn't
went on.
explain.
That's
that?
good.
Well, he knows I'm separated.
Oh, okay.
So that came out. But I mean,
And how old is he? Like our ages?
yeah.
Okay.
And he just got back from Guam. He's got a daughter that's a teacher over there. I thought that was so nice, but I was like, oh, I don't really want to.
Maybe he'll let you call him something else.
Yeah, we're gonna need to rename you.
We can work around this. I think this is something that we could.
Yeah, I don't know. But he seemed very
I'm
nice.
gonna
Give him a nickname.
Keep the name nameless, but at one point I dated the same guy's name. So many of them that we numbered them.
Oh.
Because it got confusing when I would talk about whatever happened. I'd be like, no, number 2, the big one.
No, number 4.
Yeah,
No, number 1.
Jason. It's probably Jason.
it's not.
It's
Don't,
very
don't
nice.
guess again.
Let's
but
just
no,
go with that. That was it. You got it.
That's so funny. Oh.
Anyway, yeah. So I understand the problem with that, but
Yeah.
you can work through that. You can just.
I'm just.
Hey,
be
but
honest.
you know what? You won't accidentally call him by the wrong name.
What?
You
See,
can't call him by
I
the wrong
always heard
name.
that was what you did. Was you dated the people who had the same name of the person that
Because
you
you
were
can't
dating.
accidentally call him by your ex's name.
Or if you're gonna
Wow,
cheat,
that's-
make sure you cheat with somebody who has the same color hair, same length hair.
Oh my gosh.
There's a lot of thinking.
I'm
into
not saying I
this.
do that. I'm just saying.
No. I am a terrible multitasker, and this is why I've never had a threesome. But I cannot keep people in order. I cannot
Amen.
do more than one thing at a time. Okay.
Amen.
I'm just telling you, it's
it is-
awful.
That's the only reason.
It's
It's
awful.
hard enough
Yeah,
to focus on
And I told
one
you I thought
thing.
I was gay once, and until it was my turn, and then I was like, nope, never mind. I'm all good.
You were out.
I
and back
love
in-
you. No,
back
never
in
mind.
that
We are
closet.
just friends, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
My bad.
Can you do my makeup?
At what point do you turn around? I guess that was the point once you got done. But,
Yeah.
how did that go over? How did they say? Were they okay with that? or
That's a
no?
joke, okay, Kelly. That's never happened.
No, but she tells it all the
Whatever.
time.
I know.
This is legit a conversation in the cabin. This is how girls' weekend looks. Everybody always asks. I know I keep bringing it
Well,
up.
I have
but people
actually have a
ask.
similar story that was. I mean, I didn't do anything, but I had somebody. Well, I really liked this guy. He was so hot, and we had been talking and getting to know each. But we knew we were never going to date, but we both wanted to hook up with one another. But we never really had the opportunity. And I was having a party at my house, and he was there, and a lot of the people that we work with were there, and friends. And I was like, this is not, I'm getting him tonight. Well, there was another girl there who really liked him. And I was friends with her, not like really good friends, but, she was nice. And she wanted to get with him too. And I wasn't going to like deter her from it. But I was like, well, I want it. And
Right.
she was
So
like,
y'all
well,
gonna do?
I was like, and we were because I was making out with him in the bathroom. And then she's coming in the bathroom. And she's wanting, and I'm like, well, we can do this, I guess. I mean, I've never been in that situation before, and I never even because thinking about it, I'm like, oh no, I don't want a threesome.
I
But it
can't
was
even
just like,
fathom
it was just happened. It was like real time. I had to make a decision, and I was like, oh, okay, well, let's try.
I guess you can
And
scoot
so
in.
we're just making out. They didn't get past kissing though, but she's the one that threw in the towel. I was still thinking in my head, am I really going to do this? Am I really going to do this? And then I'm like,
So you played chicken.
And,
You
yes,
just played
and
chicken.
she
And
tapped
lost.
out first.
She tapped out.
I would have been tapping out too. I'd be in the corner rocking back and forth. It would be so bad. This is what I'm saying. I can't. I'll be like, okay, you guys look so fantastic. That's wonderful. Keep it up.
Well, she just
keep it
she
up.
just was
This
like,
is
I'm
gonna
sorry, I
end up
can't.
on
She,
the one that's not
this is gonna go on Patreon.
Yeah, this is going on Patreon. Write this
yeah,
time
that's
down.
I mean, but it still worked out for me. I mean, it's had a great night.
yeah.
So,
Well, there you go.
I'm after off the air, I need to know who the people are.
okay.
I'm just gonna put that. I'm gonna need some names dropped. Ellis
Okay,
County.
well, it was me. Okay, it was me.
It was me.
That's how I knew that it wasn't just a joke.
What are you gonna do?
Oh,
That's funny. All right. Well, any more stories? If y'all just keep going, you just laughing.
You're good.
I got more stories, but we
We are
don't have enough
definitely
time.
making you come back again.
Well, we can do that.
You're so much fun.
Yes, because we do. I've got stories about a guy I did date that didn't have ears. I'll tell y'all that next time.
Stay tuned. Too bad. I mean,
That
can he
is
still
so
hear
funny.
though? Like,
He
could
could
he
hear.
listen to this podcast?
Well, I mean, I haven't seen him in a long
Oh,
time.
but he could hear though.
Yeah, I mean,
because I was gonna
okay.
be like, stay tuned, but then, like he can't hear, then I feel bad.
Well, no, he could hear.
Okay, good.
But I couldn't see apparently because I didn't know he didn't have ears. Okay, so as we were watching Arsenio Hall, and he's like, "Are you listening to me?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm all ears." Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, okay,
Love
I
it.
will say this. I do stick my foot in my mouth quite a bit. So anyway,
Yeah, I
that
can't
was
even
one of the
imagine.
times.
That's
Yeah.
so funny. You're such a mess.
So I am
That's why we're friends.
is it?
Yeah, because it's good stories. I laugh constantly.
I got lots of them. Yeah.
Her, you and Melindy together.
That's what I was saying. All the time when I hang out with us, I end up my stomach hurts. Like girls' weekend, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been laughing so
It's
much.
pee
ridiculous.
myself
It's
two,
a good
3
ab
times.
workout. I really like it.
It is. It is. So
Yeah.
we have to drink a lot to make sure that we don't.
Gotta counteract
yeah,
that.
we got to counteract it. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for joining us today,
You're
Brandy.
very welcome. Thanks for having me.
And we will see y'all again next time.
Yes, thank you for joining us and letting us remind you that there are always 3 sides to every story. 2 sides and the truth. Love you guys.